Hey everybody, hope you guys are all healthy and safe. So I am in a top secret place in Hong Kong right now where I am getting a look at the S22 Ultra series. In fact, I have the Galaxy S22 Ultra right here. Not just the S22, but also the new Galaxy Tab S8. But let's take a look at the S22 Ultra first. Okay, so first things first, the Galaxy S22 Ultra comes in great looking colors. I am a huge fan of this light green here, or deep blue, whatever you want to call it. The back material is made of Gorilla Glass Victus and it does not attract fingerprints, yet it is pretty grippy. I also like this white one a lot, and then we have this copper right here. There's also a black one. Really understated. Usually I like black phones, but I think this time I like the green a little bit better than the black. So by now, most of you guys already know the Galaxy S22 Ultra. It's really a new Galaxy Note phone because there is a slot that houses an S Pen. And all the S Pen features that you're used to, like screen off memo, is here. Except the S Pen has been improved even more. Latency has been lowered to 2.8 millisecond. This is a combination of hardware and software prowess. The combination of hardware and software synergy is what's gonna drive most of what makes the S22 Ultra great, including the camera performance. Because if we're going by camera hardware, it's actually not a major upgrade over last year's S21 Ultra, but then there's a little bit of camera upgrade. On top of that, there's smarter software and that new ISP from Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. So you're getting a major camera improvements, which I'm going to get to pretty soon. Let's look at the rest of the hardware first. So you have this Galaxy Note-like square-ish display. This is a 6.8-inch panel, obviously WQHD plus quality, 120 Hz LTPO panel, so refresh rate can bounce as low as I think 1 Hz up to 120 Hz for zippy, smooth animations. You have a tiny hole punch up here housing a 40 megapixel selfie camera. Now around the back, here's the main event, the main system. So we have a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera up top, f2.2 aperture. Down here, this is the 108 megapixel camera, f1.8 aperture. Here is a 10 megapixel periscope zoom lens that offers 10 times optical zoom, f4.9 aperture. Up here is a laser autofocus. Finally, here it's a 10 megapixel telephoto zoom lens that can do 3 times optical zoom. So like I said, in terms of hardware, all the specs I just ran off here, it's almost identical to the S21 Ultra. But big improvements came in the main camera because the pixel size got a little bit bigger. That means you now pull in a little bit more light, you get more image information into every shot. And the software has improved that now when you take a picture, the photo grabs a 108 and 12 megapixel photo at the same time. So 12 megapixel is achieved via Nona binning, which is what Samsung calls the 9-in-1 pixel binning. So it takes a 108 megapixel sensor, bins it down to 12 megapixels, so you're getting 9 pixels worth of information into one. Now obviously I can't really take this phone outside to test, I just have it in here to test. Biggest improvement will come in night photography. As you can see, I have a dark box in here to test low light photography, and night mode kicks in automatically. It takes like 2-3 seconds and the shot turns out pretty sharp with accurate colors. Another major area of improvement is now you can zoom in and out smoothly. Previously, whenever you switch out to the ultra wide, there's a little bit of a jankiness. That's not there anymore. I mean, I wouldn't say this is like iPhone level smooth, but this is pretty smooth zoom from ultra wide all the way up to like 100x. And we'll test the zoom. So this is a 1x main photo. This is a 3 times lossless. This is 10 times periscope. And we'll go up to 30 times. Let's take a picture of my camera at 30 times. And then up to 100x 100 times. Now notice that autofocus is still in here. When I jump into 100x, I can hold the phone with one hand and I can keep still. With many other phones, when you zoom beyond like 30x, it is like shaky like this. Now another area that Samsung says has improved a lot is video stabilization and bokeh portrait video. Again, this is a combination of hardware and software smarts. But let's test out video stabilization right now. So I'm holding the phone with just one hand right here. So this is main camera footage. I am walking around the room right now. I don't know if Samsung's watching me actually, but they might think, what the hell is he doing? Okay, next up, let's test portrait video. So I think you can also change the degree of bokeh. Okay, so we are shooting portrait video, bokeh video with the Galaxy S22 Ultra. How do I look? Does the background blur look realistic? Is it getting my hair okay, like individual strands of hair? Elsewhere, 5000 mAh battery, Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, 12 gigs of RAM, Android 12 with One UI on top, so pretty standard fare. Overall, I think if you're someone who really missed the Galaxy Note series, you're gonna love this phone. I mean, it's basically the standard for 2022 Android flagships, plus it has an S Pen, which I admit is not for everybody. Like, to be honest, when I have the S Pen, it's pretty fun to play with, but at the same time, when I don't have it, I don't really miss it too much. So it's really depend on the person. A lot of people claim they use it a lot though. Like, I do think the live translate, it's pretty useful. You can apparently now do translation up to 88 different languages. Sorry. Okay, a kindly PR just gave me these two. So this is the Galaxy S22 Plus and the Galaxy S22. So as you can see, they look completely different from the Galaxy S22 Ultra. It's almost like they're two different phones. The Galaxy S22, the standard one, looks just like the S21 Ultra from last year with this camera module, which I admit I like this look. But new this year is the sides, they're a little bit flatter. They're not as thin as typical Android phone. They're not quite completely flat like an iPhone, but they're definitely like a wider frame. So some people may prefer this grip. Now obviously this phone is a tier below the Ultra, so you don't get the S Pen and you don't get the 108 megapixel main camera. You also don't get a periscope camera. Now I know a lot of people are going to say the standard S22 is a better buy, maybe a better value, but if you can splurge, the S22 Ultra is where it's at. This is the absolute pinnacle of Samsung's smartphone technology, like not counting the foldable screens. Like, this camera system should be the best camera system on the market right now. Now when I get this phone in for review, I will pit this against the current champion, the Vivo X70 Pro Plus. We'll see how the S22 Ultra stack up, but so far I am really liking what I see. Let's now look at the Galaxy Tab S8. I only have the Ultra here. I don't have the smaller models, but yeah. Okay, so as you can see, the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra is huge. This is a 14.6-inch screen. I believe this may be the largest Android tablet or any tablet I've ever held. There is unfortunately a notch, but this is a 120 Hz Super AMOLED panel, so the screen is gonna look amazing. And you have an S Pen that attaches to the back. If you're buying this Tab S8 Ultra, such a huge tablet, you're gonna use it with a keyboard because this thing is way too huge to just lug around like this every single day. So Samsung made a keyboard case that you just attach magnetically on here like this, and it'll cover the flap. But of course the tablet can't stand on its own, so you need this back part too. It's one set actually, it's not like you have to buy extra. So this little back cover will have a kickstand, so you can prop up the tablet like this, and then you have yourself basically a proper laptop. So apologies if the hands-on with the tablet is not as in-depth as usual, because I only have a very limited time here and the pressure is on. So again, 14.6-inch screen. You have an excellent keyboard. I already tried typing on this. The key travel is excellent. And you have a trackpad, a pretty spacious trackpad that allows you to navigate. Now, the benefit of using a Samsung tablet over like a Huawei or Xiaomi tablet is that you have Samsung DeX built in, which is basically like a PC mode. Once you turn on Samsung DeX, you can now open apps in like a floating window. It looks more like a traditional PC. So for example, if I open the internet, you see it's a smaller window. I can open Google Play, and it is a smaller window. Now there's a 11,200 mAh battery in here, so it's a huge battery. But because the screen is so large and it's 120 Hz, I don't know if it will power this thing like 10 hours, you know. But I think if you can get 6-7 hours out of this, I would be very happy. I'm talking about 6-7 hours of active productivity use. Around the back, there's a 12 megapixel camera here and a 6 megapixel ultra wide. But, you know, you'll mostly be using the front facing camera because this is like a proper laptop. You have two cameras here, 12 megapixel main, 12 megapixel wide, and you get a really wide field of view. So this is great for video calls. So the Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra starts at also $1,100, so the exact same price as the S22 Ultra. And for that, you get the tablet and the S Pen. This keyboard case is extra, so you get this whole set, you're probably looking at like $1,300. So that's about it for this first look at the Galaxy S22 Ultra series, with a little bit of a teaser at the Tab S8 and the standard S22. I will have my hands on all these devices pretty soon, so please stay tuned. I'm going to have a full review on all of these. And I also have a bunch of stuff coming from other brands. February is going to be a crazy month for Android releases, so if you're interested in keeping up to date with all the latest smartphones, please consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Instagram at Ben's Gadget Reviews. That's it for now. Take care, stay healthy.